Alright, greetings everyone. I am making this video for the purpose of the people in Mateo 311's Discord. If you don't know who Mateo is, he's a smaller YouTuber and I really like his videos. And I've been getting questions in the Discord asking me if they're better than the Index or if they should buy one or like those sorts of questions about Pimax. And it's really hard to describe it and put it onto paper slash messaging it in the Discord. So I have decided to take it upon myself to make a video um, based off of these questions I've been receiving in the Discord. So the questions I have today is what is Pimax exactly? Why do they matter? Should you buy a Pimax headset? What type of VR headset is for you? Now, that one specifically is interesting, and we'll get into that later. Also, how many headsets do Pimax make? There is a lot, and each one suits a different type of person. Okay, we'll get into that later when the type of headsets come up. And also, should you buy one, or should you buy one over the index slash is it better than the index? And then also we'll have a conclusion to everything. Anyway, uh, hello everyone. I am Green One Trail Mix. I am a Pimax 5K Plus user. I've been using a Pimax 5K Plus for the past year. The end of 2019 is when I first received my Pimax headset, and yeah, I've had a lot of time with my Pimax headsets. I've tried many other headsets. I actually owned a Lenovo Explorer, a HTC Vive, the original one, and the HTC Vive Cosmos Elite, and I've tried many other headsets. So I have a very good opinion on headsets. So I am definitely in the know when it comes to VR headsets and which one you should get over the other. Anyway, uh, intro done. We'll get into the video. So, what is Pimax exactly? Pimax is a Chinese Kickstarter company that popped up in, I believe, 2017. It might have been 2018. I don't remember. I just remember I wanted to back the Pimax headsets and I couldn't because I was broke at the time. I didn't have money for one, so I couldn't back them. But yeah, so Pimax is a Kickstarter company, a Chinese Kickstarter company, and basically they had the goal of creating a VR headset, a high-end enthusiast headset with human-like field of view, with super high resolutions, and basically the best experience you can get in VR. Their goals, all the headsets that they promised that they would make, they have made, except for one, which got upgraded. But I'm not going to get into that exactly. Uh, Basically, Pimax makes super high-end enthusiast class headsets like the Valve Index slash HP Reverb G2 level. And they have headsets ranging from 440 USD all the way to 1300 USD. That's a big price gap. And the main selling features of Pimax headsets are their wide field of view and their high resolution. But as for most of you, I'm guessing watching this video, you've probably got enough knowledge about VR headsets to understand that the wider the field of view, the bigger the screen, the less pixel density you get, the lower the resolution the image perceives as. So you need to have high resolution for high field of view, or it will look very crap if you started stretching out a 1440p image or 1080p image over 170 degrees of field of view, like the Pimax headsets offer. But yeah, obviously they've got 4K models, so if you got the money, aka like $1,300, you can get the best FOV and the best resolution experience possible. Anyway, so I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is why do they matter? They matter because They are enthusiast class headsets for the best experience possible. You will get a better experience with their top tier flagship 8KX over a Valve Index. But in saying that, the usability of Pimax headsets are harder to use than others because of some software issues like bugs, and also I don't really know. I'm just going to say software issues for now. It's game compatibilities. Like, you have to tweak settings before you launch a game, which can be annoying, but everyone that has a Pimax headset should be setting up profiles for each game they want to play so that when they boot that game, it will go into a profile that will suit your needs, whether parallel projections need to be on, if the field of view needs to be smaller, the refresh rate needs to be adjusted, anything like that. Anyway, they matter because they're high-end headsets and they give you the best experience possible. Should you buy one? Now, this is a very questionable form of wording. I don't really know how to describe this, other than it really does depend on the individual and who you are. If you're a person that just wants to get a VR headset and you just want to play VR games and you basically don't really care whether you have the best or you don't necessarily need the best experience, then something like the Oculus Quest 2 will do a good job at fulfilling those goals. And if you feel like you've got the money and you're willing to spend the more money, most people go to the Valve Index for full body tracking, high refresh rate, and finger tracking, which is definitely a good valid reason why you should buy a Valve Index over a Quest 2. But when I get asked, should like I buy one or should you buy one or something like that, they're asking a question and generalizing it over every single headset. Imagine asking someone, should I buy I don't know, fucking Mitsubishi car, right? And they don't specify whether they're gonna be racing with it, like street racing, drag racing, anything like that, or if they're gonna use it for family car purposes. They have just named the brand. That is it. That is the only like information you have received from that individual. Is they've given you the brand Pimax. Should I buy one? They make like 8 different headsets. I'm not entirely sure exactly how many it is. I'm going to list it off now. Originally, they offered the Pimax 5K Plus and the Pimax 8K, but the 8K has been discontinued for the newer 8K headsets. So they had 2 headsets there. Then they came out with the Pimax 8K Plus, 8KX, 5K. No, they had a 5K XR/BE headset. I forgot about that. That's their OLED headset. They've only got one OLED headset, and it's that one. The Pimax Artisan and the Pimax 5K Super. So they, in total, I think they have 7 different VR headsets that they sell. And you've asked me, should I buy a Pimax headset? Which model are you talking about? What is your price point? You know, this sort of thing. Anyway, should you buy one? It really depends. For most simulator people, if you are a simulator fan, you can always recommend Pimax headsets because they are one of the best headsets to get for simulator. So if you're doing flight sim or any sort of racing sim, DCS, anything like that, Pimax is always a good recommendation. But all the people that I get asked, should they buy one, it's usually a random consumer like I've met in Discord or in VR chat because I play a lot of VR chat. So most of the time when asking me should I buy one, I end up recommending Valve Index because that suits the consumer's needs more than a enthusiast class headset like this is. Anyway, the next topic was how many Pimax headsets do they have? Well, I already just listed that. They have 7, and I just listed that. Are they better than the Valve Index? Yes, they are better than the Valve Index in ways, but worse in others. For example, the Valve Index has the best audio drivers, or the headphones that they put on a headset you can get right now. Best ones. No other headset comes close to beating it, right? And don't bring up the HP Reverb G2 because that's just the exact same thing because it was in partnership. Anyway, the audio stock on Pimax headsets. Some headsets come without audio at all, so it's just a head strap like the Pimax Artisan and Pimax 5K Plus. They don't come with audio stock. But then you have other headsets like the 8K Plus, 8KX, and the 5K Super that do come stock with audio, but it's audio very similar to the Rift S slash original Quest, where it's just speakers that fire down into your ears. That audio is crap. All it's good for is saying, hey, we included audio on our headset, so you can use it without headphones. But you do not want to use it without headphones. So you can buy other options, like they have the KD Mass and the D Mass. KD Mass standing for Kickstarter Deluxe Modular Audio Strap, and the D Mass standing for Deluxe Modular Audio Strap. And those are the good audio options. I have the KD Mass. It's very similar to sound quality of the Deluxe Audio Strap from HTC, but it has a lot more bass, I reckon. And the sound is a different type of sound. It's more of a bassy sound. I don't really know how to describe audio, but it's really up to you whether you want a lot of bass or not. A lot of Pimax users modded HTC Vive Deluxe audio straps to the Pimax headsets initially before they came out with any head strap options. So you can definitely still do that. You get 3D printed parts and you can mod the Deluxe audio strap onto the headset. That's definitely a good option. But then Pimax also sells options now. So anyway, how is it better than a Valve Index? Fuck. I sort of got on a different tangent there about sound. So it's better than the Valve Index in field of view. Slightly worse in resolution. It's an in-between the Rift S and the Valve Index when it comes to resolution. It has the same. So with Pimax, right? I've got a Pimax 5K Plus, and I'm going to be using the 5K Plus model because that's very comparable to the Valve Index, where it's got 2560 by 1440, and 2560 is horizontal, aka the wide field of view horizontally to get more vision. And then the vertical resolution is 1440p. Now, the Valve Index has 1600 by 1440, so they're very similar in resolution. But because Pimax is stretching it over more field of view than the Valve Index, technically the resolution quality or whatever is lower than the Valve Index. So if you wanted a slightly higher resolution headset, Valve Index definitely gets that win, but the Pimax is pretty close to the Valve Index, but it's definitely not the exact same, like other reviewers slash YouTubers might say. Right? So yeah. What else is better? So the contrast colors and yeah, I'm just going to say contrast colors and black levels. I believe the Valve Index has better color than the Pimax headsets. But colors don't matter that much. A lot of VR headsets are now switching to LCD and people aren't complaining. So if you're going to complain about colors, you should only complain about colors when they're really shit. And the Pimax headsets are very acceptable when it comes to colors. They're only a little bit worse than the Valve Index, so whatever. The pixel response times on the displays, they are a little bit slower than the Valve Index. I feel like the Valve Index pixel response times are slightly better than the Pimax headsets. But in saying that, the Pimax 5K Plus, when it came out, was a 90 Hz headset. And then the Valve Index came out at 144 Hz experimental. And then Pimax was like, oh yeah, we're just going to do a few software updates, and now the Pimax 5K Plus runs at 144 hertz. And I'm like, hell yeah. People that bought the Pimax 5K Plus were never expecting 144 hertz, and their headsets just became updated to do it. Although it is at a smaller field of view, the amount of bandwidth is actually holding back Pimax headsets. So, for example, the 8KX, their flagship headset, when running in 4K mode, it can only run a refresh rate of 75 hertz because DisplayPort 1.4 cannot push more bandwidth than 75 hertz. That's all it can do because it's two 4K displays running on one cable. Anyway, so the Pimax 5K Plus against the Valve Index. Pimax is better in field of view, slightly worse in contrast. They both have the same refresh rate, although I use mine at 120 Hz. Easier to drive and also good enough. A little bit wider field of view than the 144 Hz model. Option, I should say. Comfort, I cannot say anything about comfort. Comfort depends on if you have the head strap that comes with the headset, like the KD Mass, or if you have the the stock strap with like the older headsets. The stock strap on the older headsets, not really good. It was actually better in comfort than the HTC Vive. Better than the Vive in comfort, and I can guarantee you that. I can tell you that no matter what, better in comfort. But the Valve Index has got a rigid head strap stock, and not every single Pimax headset has a rigid head strap stock. So it really depends comfort on your own personal opinion, whether it's more comfortable or not, and then also which head strap you use. Whether you use the stock one with the lower end headsets, if you use the rigid head strap like on the KD Mass, or if you mod a deluxe audio strap onto the headset. All the comforts are different. If you get a rigid head strap, I would recommend buying about 200 gram, 300 gram counterweights, mainly about 300 gram counterweights. It can lift the weight off of the front of your face and making the headset more comfortable. I definitely would recommend that. I personally don't have that, but if I get the money and I can be bothered, I will be definitely buying it because it will just make the headset a little bit more comfortable. Same with like the Oculus Quest, how people were putting counterweights on that headset to make it more comfortable. This is way more comfortable than the Quest, but I'm just saying it can make it more comfortable if you get counterweights. Anyway, a lot of rambling and random information. There is a lot to discuss when it comes to Pimax. So, conclusion, when buying a Pimax, whether it's worth it or not, it depends on the individual. If you're an enthusiast person and you love VR and you just want the best experience possible, Pimax is definitely better than a Valve Index. But if you're the type of person that you don't really care and you just want to have a really good time and you don't want to fiddle around with settings or setting anything up, and maybe you have a weaker PC because Pimax headsets take a lot of graphics card grunt to run them, the Valve Index is what I mostly recommend to people. So that really does put that into... I hope this really puts into perspective and helps you out a little bit when it comes to Pimax headsets. This has just been straight talking for basically 20 minutes. I was trying to keep it under 20 minutes while cramming in a lot of information, and all this is just off the top of my head, not scripted, other than the dot points I have to follow. So, I hope this helped. I will probably be making another video more in depth, specifically on the fact of buying a Pimax over a Index headset. I saw someone in the Discord for Mateo311, and he was thinking about buying a Pimax headset or a Valve Index, and he brought up that the price is similar, but Pimax headsets are definitely expensive. So I will be making another video going through the differences specifically and whether you should buy one if it meets your requirements. Anyway, 20 minutes has just gone over. Thank you for listening slash watching this video. I hope this has been useful to the people that have watched this. Yeah, thanks.